All right, only a few minutes late. Hopefully the wind doesn't bother it too much. It is a little bit windy here.
Consequences we will face from the fossil fuels, extractions, and usages. We cannot live without earth. We cannot live without water. We cannot live in a world that puts fossil fuels over. The fossil fuels are destroying our planet, and we are paying them to do so. As a 12-year-old child, I may seem a touch harsh, but seriously, what am I going to do besides tell my truth? We need the government to stop polluting our country, communities, and families. I want to grow up in a world where I don't need to worry about my future kids, grandkids. I want to live in a world where I don't need to worry about myself. Where everyone can have a safe and happy life with no worry of climate change. Where we live a healthy, happy life.
Everyone, please give it up again for Fia. Okay, so up next, we're going to hear from Angela McEwen. Angela is an economist who lives and works here on unceded Anishinaabe Algonquin territory. She's a policy fellow with the Broadbent Institute, the current chair of the Trade Justice Network, and active with the Green Economy Network. She co-authored a book titled Share the Wealth, How We Can Tax Canada's Super Rich and Create a Better Country for Everyone, about how Canada's tax policy has contributed to growing wealth inequality and how we can make a better choice for people and planet. Thanks, Angela.
Thank you very much. And I mean, Fia, you're a tough act to follow. I don't know what more we can add. I think she definitely gave us the why. I want to talk a little bit as an economist about the what. In 2009, Canada committed to phasing out inefficient fossil fuels, along with the rest of the G20. And the Liberal government, this government here, has committed to doing that this year. So this is the deadline for Canada to make good on that 2009 commitment. The problem is they haven't defined what inefficient means. Right. And they haven't defined inefficient in terms of what, right? So, and why does that matter? That matters because there are a whole bunch of definitions of what a fossil fuel subsidy is, It goes from a tax break that might add up to about $2 billion a year, or it goes to lending money to fossil fuel companies, giving money to greenwashing, subsidies for fossil fuel companies to clean up their act. It goes to, as you pointed out, actually paying the RCMP to enforce the rights of oil and gas companies over the rights of Indigenous people. And so I just want to read the original G20 commitment to clarify what did we actually commit to there. We said inefficient subsidies encourage wasteful consumption, reduce our energy security, impede investment in clean energy sources, and undermine efforts to deal with the threat of climate change. That's the key one. That is the one that we should be judging subsidies for. So we're going to see something in the budget when it comes out, budget 2023. And for us to judge whether or not they've kept their promise, that's how we have to judge whether they've gotten rid of subsidies that hamper our efforts to deal with climate change. Unfortunately, in 2018, the Finance Department put out what they consider to be inefficient, and guess what? They considered only economic efficiency. The Auditor General, shame. The Auditor General actually stepped up and said, hey, what about social inefficiency? What about environmental inefficiency? What about our climate goals?
Environmental inefficiency.
And so the Auditor General put out a report. They disagreed, but the Finance Department has yet to change publicly at least what their criteria is. So you have a letter here that's been handed out that I encourage you to send in, because we really need to tell them what we're expecting them to do in phasing out inefficient subsidies. It has to ensure that green subsidies targeted to the so-called green subsidies targeted to develop a low carbon economy should respect polluter pay. They shouldn't be adding subsidies under the guise of cleaning up their act or developing hydrogen or carbon capture that only delays the transition. Especially at a time when oil and gas profits are through the roof. Not only are profits through the roof, their profit margins increased this year. At a time when Canadians were struggling to pay for housing and food, oil and gas manufacturers upped their margins and made billions and billions of dollars. And so we're going to be as KSIs, paying them more money to keep harming and working actively against our stated goals. So we have to be clear about what we need to see in this budget. If this government is serious about their concern for climate action, they have to identify subsidies that are inefficient in terms of our society, in terms of our climate targets. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Angela. So next, I'd like to invite Morgan McKay, a 16-year-old Omer des Lauriers student in the International Baccalaureate program. She volunteers with Friday for Future Ottawa and Wild Outside, a youth environmental organization. She's also a track runner and is very passionate about nature and conserving the beautiful fauna and flora in Canada and around the world. So, come on up, Morgan.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us all on this beautiful winter day. My name is Morgan McKay. I'm 16 years old and a member of Fridays for Future. Donc bonjour tout le monde, merci de nous rejoindre ici sur cette journée d'hiver un peu froide mais quand même agréable. Mon nom est Morgan McKay, j'ai 16 ans et je suis membre de Vendredi pour l'avenir. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't feel the need to skip my classes and leave school and come here and ask the government, the people that I'm supposed to trust with my future, to do better. Yet, here I am, skipping school, coming down here, and asking the people in control of my future to do better. Climate change is knocking on our front door. This is no longer something happening on the other side of the world or deep in the forests of British Columbia. Our canal won't open this year for the first time in its entire history. This is not the first time our city has seen climate change have its effect. Last spring, our city was hit by violent windstorms that flattened swaths and swaths of forest throughout our city. Is this not enough for you to care about the future of our country, of our planet? Without concrete action, things will only get worse. Look how far we've come without government help. While scientists, activists, and many people from my generation urge action, it appears most politicians are not committed to doing anything meaningful, while the fossil fuel industry continues to actively work against any progress. Enormous amounts of human ingenuity are being brought to this problem. People all around the world are standing up and taking a stand against climate change. Now imagine the progress we could make if this same passion, this same urgency felt by everyone here today was felt by our governments. Imagine if climate change truly got the political attention and funding it needs, and if we stop pouring money into projects that directly worsen our carbon footprint. In 2022, fossil fuel companies made record profits, as many people have said today, while average Canadian citizens struggled to put food on the table. Climate change is directly impacted by an economy that continues to expand and subsidize fossil fuel extraction. Any action the government is taking to be more eco-friendly is directly counteracted by this dependency on fossil fuels. That is why we are here, to phase out fossil fuels and find better, less harmful ways to support human life on Earth. Together, we can make them listen, we can get their attention, and we can make a change. Thank you.
Give it up again for Morgan. Okay, amazing. Thank you so much, everyone who's here with us today again. So next up, we're going to have two speakers together from Climate Justice U Ottawa. So Climate Justice U Ottawa is an organization fighting for climate action on campus and amplifying student voices when it comes to the climate emergency. They successfully got the University of Ottawa to commit to divesting from fossil fuels just a year ago. And still have multiple active campaigns. So we're going to have Shauna and Alex. So Shauna is an executive member of the group and is a fourth-year student in political science and history. And Alex is a member of the group and a second-year student in political science and communications.
Hi, thank you for being here. As students, we keep hearing that we are the future, that we are so great for taking action against climate change. We hear it from our university that invest in fossil fuel. We hear it from banks that fund fossil fuel. We hear it from our own government that subsidize fossil fuel. For our effort, we get empty prices. But today, we're not here for a pat on our head or for a participation medal. We are angry and we are demanding change. We are demanding concrete action. Depuis que nous sommes jeunes, nous entendons parler des changements climatiques. Depuis que nous sommes nés, nous expérimentons leurs impacts. Nous observons des hivers plus courts, des étés trop chauds, et au quotidien, on entend parler d'un nouveau désastre climatique. L'action rapide et drastique est évidemment nécessaire. Alors, pourquoi est-ce que le gouvernement refuse d'agir? We won't let ourselves be satisfied with the government greenwashing campaign, telling us they're going to put $1 billion tree or do an extremely weak plastic ban. We don't want empty promises that the government parades around during their election campaign, but don't even bother to fulfill once they get elected. We don't want to hear about how Canada is a global climate leader when we're the fourth biggest producer in fossil fuel in the world.
That we're falling down a path that we can't change. This would be falling in the trap of those who make profit from burning our planet. And the solution is really simple. Let's cut pollution from the source. Burning fossil fuels is a root cause for ocean acidification, climate breakdown, air pollution every single year. The people in power and the government know about the effects of climate change and still don't do anything to solve them. They sit comfortably in their golden towers as our own indigenous peoples are being poisoned by the waste that fossil fuel produces on their land. And instead of helping them, they pay off scientists and call them liars. They call the RCMP when they protest against their own abuse. And they assault and arrest land defenders and climate protesters. Now, this is not an easy topic, but if it means having an uncomfortable conversation to save our future, we'll be sitting at the table. Because when we are demanding for an end to fossil fuel financing, we're also demanding to fight against racial injustice, social injustice, and economic injustice. The government needs to stop lending tax credits and carbon capture to wealthy oil and gas companies. They need to stop incentivizing these companies to continue producing unsustainable resources for wealth. The poisoning of our earth should have never been profitable. Now, even the Intergovernmental Report on Climate Change says climate justice action must be taken. They said, and I quote, "It is now or it is never." And that without deep cut emissions across all sectors, it will be impossible to recover. The solution is not to appease these companies. It is to tear them down. There is proof, there is consensus, but the real horror story is that our government isn't going to be doing any action about it. The authors of our demise are the rulers of our own country. If the government cannot commit to us, who will?
En 2020, le Canada fournit plus de financement public pour les combustibles fossiles que tout autre pays du G20. Il est estimé que le gouvernement a dépensé jusqu'à 81 milliards de dollars des contribuables pour subventionner les compagnies pétrolières selon les fonds monétaires internationaux. Tout cela alors que les Canadiens perdent leur maison à cause d'une inondation, que plus de 6 ans, personnes sont décédées lors des vagues de chaleur l'an dernier et plus que 15 000 personnes meurent de manière prématurée à cause de la pollution de notre air. Il est à se demander si le gouvernement travaille pour nous ou s'il travaille pour les compagnies pétrolières. Un gouvernement qui préfère protéger les compagnies pétrolières que ses propres citoyens n'est pas un gouvernement du peuple. Un gouvernement qui ferme ses yeux alors que nos eaux sont polluées, que la vie marine disparaît, que les sécheresses détruisent nos récoltes, que les feux brûlent nos forêts n'est pas un gouvernement du peuple. Un gouvernement qui va nous laisser mourir n'est pas un gouvernement du peuple. Je vais maintenant vous demander de répéter après moi. I will now ask you to repeat after me. Enough is enough. Assez, c'est assez. The government will listen to us today. Enough is enough. Assez, c'est assez. The government will take concrete action today. Enough is enough. Assez, c'est assez. The government will stop financing fossil fuel today. Enough is enough. Assez, c'est assez. The government will stop financing fossil fuel today. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Shauna and Alex. And that was a perfect little segue with a chant at the end, because we're going to move on to some music. And we're lucky enough to have Christophe Elie and Chris White with us today. Okay. So Christophe Elie is a political folk singer with 2 albums released, host of CKCU Radio's Songs for the Revolution, and supporter of Save Hunt Club Forest Collective and Reimagine Ottawa. And I'm going to hand it over to him. And Chris White is here. We're very lucky to have Chris White. So Chris White is a community organizer, has recorded many albums, and is the host of CKCU 91.3 FM's Canadian Spaces. While we wait for everyone to get set up, I want to say that I want to encourage everyone after this action is over. This isn't where the action ends. And so I really encourage everyone to keep an eye out on the federal budget whenever it comes out, and to get in touch with your MPs and even try to send an email to Krista Freeland. The open letter that hopefully many of you have a copy of, We are going to be trying to deliver to Krista Freeland, and we will be sending it out by email as well. We have it on our website, which is fridaysforfutureottawa.org, and we encourage you to use it as a template to send that, to really demand action, demand an end to fossil fuel subsidies from your MP and from the Minister of Finance.
I really resonate with what the students and the young people are saying. Who is going to stand up and save the world? That's the question that Neil Young was asking. Do we have any words here, anybody? Do we have words? Yes. Who is going to stand up and save the world? Hey, good job with you. So here's the chorus in case you don't have it. Who's going to stand up and save the earth? Who's going to say that she's had enough? Who's going to take on the big machine? Who's going to stand up and save the earth? And here's the most important part. This all starts with you and me. In fact, let's try that. Fossil fuels, draw the line before we build one more pipeline. And fracking now, let's save the water. Let's build a life for our sons and daughters. Here we go. Who's gonna stand up and save the earth? Who's gonna say that she's had enough? Who's gonna take on the big machine? Who's gonna stand up and save the earth? This all starts with you and me. Okay, here's the new verse now. The time is now. The time is now. We're not sure how we make a difference together somehow. Our government just stop the flow. No more money to the oil CEOs. Who's gonna stand up and save the earth? Who's gonna say that she's had enough? Who's gonna take on the big machine? Who's gonna stand up and save the earth? Here we go. This all starts with you.
Dam the dams, save the rivers, starve the takers, and feed the givers. Let's build the green, let's save the world. We're the people known as Earth. Who's gonna stand up and save the earth? Who's gonna say that she's had enough? Who's gonna take on the big machine? Who's gonna stand up and save the earth? Who? This all starts with you and me. This all starts with you and me.
Keep up the fight.
We're going to do one more song. This is to the tune of Cecilia. Christian Freeland, you're breaking my heart. You're shaking my confidence lately. Christian Freeland, I'm down on my knees. I'm begging you, please. That's it. Christian Freeland, you're breaking my heart. One more time. You're shaking my confidence daily. Christian Freeland, I'm down on my knees. No more fossil fuel subsidies. Jubilation, I can breathe again. I fall on the floor and I'm laughing. Jubilation, I can breathe again. I fall on the floor and I'm laughing. Christian Freeland, you're breaking my heart. You're shaking my confidence daily. Christian Freeland, I'm down on my knees. No more fossil fuel subsidies. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for coming out today to stand up against the money going to fossil fuels. It's got to stop. It's got to end. It's got to end this year. They said they were going to end it. It's 2023. Time to end fossil fuel subsidies. So everybody, please take some time, like in the next few days. We have these great rallies, everybody comes together, but we need to put pressure on the government. Take a moment to send an email out, make a phone call to your MP. We really need to push this forward and ensure that there's no subsidies in this coming budget, 2023. It's really important. So take some extra time after this protest to take the next step. Thanks so much for coming out, everybody. Take care.
I was just told that Ottawa Centre MP Yasir Naqvi has an active survey about the budget. So especially if you're a Ottawa Ottawa Centre constituent, consider filling that out. But really, like with the international fossil fuel subsidies we're starting to see phased out, it's obvious that nothing will happen without us putting as much pressure as possible. So please reach out to MPs. Environmental Defence has an active file on fossil fuel subsidies. Consider following what they're doing. And thank you so much for being out here today. Yeah. Woo! At this point, a couple of us are going to attempt to give a letter to be passed on to Krista Freeland. She's not here today. We can't go in, but we're going to do our best to deliver it.
Super reflection. Can't see anything.
They were standing or like they're there.
So they took the letter?
Yeah, we didn't know. So it's gonna go in the mail for we passed the letter off just so everyone knows it's been handed off. So it had better get to Krista Freeland.
That's his problem.
Adding more fossil fuel subsidies as we go, because they're subsidizing oil and gas.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we had a meeting with
Yeah.
we had a meeting before this and talked about
Thank you so much.
No, I'll try to find a way to raise it. I was mostly.
Yes, it's the Jewish.
Yeah, so I was worried about other things. This is a nice distraction. Something else to keep you distracted.
Merci beaucoup. Ouais, je fais un geste, les ouais, je fais all over the
Why did you film it?
Not just one operation, it was longer kind of
Just posting all these pictures.
I think that's everything for today. Obviously, this wasn't all organized by Joel, but I got the email from him, so that's why I wrote that. Check out this. That's neat. I don't know what it is, but it's neat.
I don't want to go back to work. Inflation. Yeah.
A lot of the
I haven't read it. I've listened to interviews, but I've been meaning to get it because did you find
Very good. Are you off the mission or are you off the You need a mask?
Okay, I will read it. And so what's the
Well, thanks for watching. Be sure to like this and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this, and we'll see how it goes.